Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a ShPTK TVP 100. It's the Tier 8 Czech Premium Tank Destroyer. It's located on the north spawn of Pearl River and it's under the command of RDDTX. Okay, game started, but his gun's dropped, and now he's off. Okay, this is the new tank destroyer that people have been doing the marathon for, or rather part of a marathon for, part of Battle Pass. It's a 100mm gun with a fairly fast reload, not particularly, well, about the same as a 90mm in many ways actually. 5.18 seconds is the standard reload, 4.29 is what RDDTX has. And it has virtually no armour, and that's why he got that response to pull back from one of his teammates in the 430. This thing really doesn't have any armour at front, 65mm maximum, and at this tier, yeah, if you get hit, you're going to feel it. It's a tier 9 game with tier 8 tanks in it. He's decided to play it almost like a medium. And of course we've seen players who've actually used tier 8 tanks, or tier 8 tank destroyers rather, like the Scorpion G, as medium tanks, and they come off rather well. But you do have to remember that your reload is kind of longer than some, and oh my god, he's going to take on an Emil 1 with a tank destroyer at close range. Well, at least he's got company, because an Emil 1951's come up to help. And he's going to blast away. Here we go. Oh, ammo rack! What a hit! That was fantastic! I feel like we ought to do an instant replay, but I think it would fail the program, because obviously programs with the new mods, it won't do an auto replay. Oh, and there was an A phase 1 behind us back then. Now he's reverse side scraping off the rock, but turning around, you can see all the ammo stowed in the vehicle. It's, well, got some in the bustle, some in the turret of the tank destroyer, and some down in the hull. You can look right down in it. Now obviously this is going to make this tank destroyer fairly vulnerable to artillery attacks, because there's a big hole for you to loop those shells into, and if you do, then you could get a very big bang and a high amount of damage. Oh! It's now been replaced by a T30. The AE phase 1 moved away from that spot and a T30 is there instead, so he's decided to bail from this position, get into a new position altogether, because he might be able to come up behind that T30. Oh, the A phase 1's still there. He's been spotted there again. I think he's been spotted by our ShPTK 4, who's already at the enemy cap area. This enemy is being kind of overwhelmed in a sense, and I think he won't be looking the right way. I think that A phase 1 and the T30 are going to be looking the wrong direction when we pop out, because they're focusing on the ShPTK, and instead they won't be looking at us when we come up behind him. But we've got to watch out, because if we get spotted coming up behind, okay, the Object 430's decided to go ahead of us, and well, that one hit the tracks, but unfortunately didn't go through. We'll give him another try, go for the cupola. Yep, that's a hit. The Alpha is 270, that was a low roll for 243. Got 270, sorry, it's 250 actually. 270mm of pen. So you should be able to get through the cupola, but you'll have difficulty elsewhere on the vehicle. Okay, the Object 430 is turning around because he's going to bail, because I think those guys are coming after us. So we're going to pick a spot where... Oh no, he's not going to pick a spot. I thought for a second he was going to shoot them as they came around the corner. But in fact, actually, the enemy's pushing through from the east side. They've come up the east side, and now we're going to move into a position where we can hit them. If this Kunstpanzer will get out of the way. He's behind the bridge at the moment. There he is, just the cupola showing. Wait for the gap. There he is. Okay, you can hit him in the gap now. Yep, nice hit. 235, which is the low roll. Gets another one in. Oh, he got a fire! He's got a fire. So he's picked up another 114 from the fire. Now he was just using that spot for a second because the A phase 1 T30 might be coming up this way. There they come. Nice shot into the side. Low roll, 215. Go for another one. Yep, actually fires straight through the monument. Or the statue. Yeah, the A phase 1's still there. Yeah, he's trying to use his gun depression. He'll come back up again. He's just trying to time it. In fact, I think he and the T30 are still there. The Emil 1951 just saw them. And he's also got the help of the Kunstpanzer now. Now would be a good time for us to get around and come up from a different direction. If we were to go down to the south and go over the edge and then come up from the south, the A phase 1 T30 would be surrounded. And that would really put the wind up them. One round into the hull, a high roll for 255. T30 takes a round for 253, another high roll. Go for the hull. Yes, another hit. 226 low roll this time. Go for it. Yes, he gets another one. 237. He's racking up the damage. And he gets the kill on the A phase 1. You can certainly rack up damage with this gun because it's so fast firing. The only thing is you have to watch out for that, the fact that it has no armour. But you can say that RNG's Toxis has done incredibly well because he hasn't taken a single hit so far from the enemy. This may be about to change. Yes, the Kunstpanzer managed to get a round in. He's got to watch out for the T30 though. If he puts a round in, that can change this game altogether because now RNG's Toxis is a one-shot for the T30. He's waiting for him to come up. I think the T30 is waiting for him. Yeah, I think he is. He's waiting for RNG's Toxis to make the mistake of actually coming around the corner, and then he'll put a round in. He's got help in the form of a T28 coming up. If we wait long enough, I think that he might actually make the mistake of coming around that corner. I certainly believe that he might be a one-shot for us. Not sure if the Alt key would actually give us... There we go. The Alt key shows the strength of some of our teammates. Doesn't show... Well, it shows the strength of Citrus LOL. There's the Kunz. High roll, 253. And the Kunstpanzer again, he gets another hit. We're down to 430. He's backing up into this corner and he can't get out this corner. The invisible wall and all that. T30 is exposed now. We've got to through it. And now he's a one shot. He won't be happy about that, but we can't poke just in case. Because he could be looking in our direction and it would be one shot and we're out the game. It's 5 against 3 now. And the Kunstpanzer's just gone. Now it's 5 against 2. And the T30 makes a fatal error. It comes up and RNG's Toxis takes him. That means there's only one enemy left. It's the Striv S1 who's near the cap area. Okay, take it gently. Nice. Didn't lose any hit points. Now I have the feeling he's off to the east actually. Was it to the west actually? Considering we're actually headed south at the moment. Okay, is he going to chase him down or go into the cap? No, he's going to force the S1 to come back. Ah, he is off to the east. Unfortunately, takes one hit. We're down to a one shot though. We can't afford to let Strip get a hit, and he does. And that's the end of the game for RNG Toxis, but not the end of the game overall, because they kill the Striv with the Caliban gets the kill, and that is victory. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the first ace tanker for RNG Toxis in the ShPTK TVP 100, the new tier 8 premium Czech tank destroyer. Yeah, first time we've seen it on this channel as well. As well as that, he managed to get a demolition expert because he blew apart that Emil 1 with a fantastic shot, went straight through the sides into his ammo rack, blew him completely to pieces, as well as a fire effect for doing more damage than hit points to his own vehicle, a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He did get 4 exactly. An arsonist, he set light to one of the enemy and watched him burn to death, as well as a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he managed to get 10 in this game. And his win rate from the game was 8,062, which is super unicum and quite a bit more. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, we can see he's top of the table with 4,455 hit points, but there was no high caliber from this game. No, unfortunately, nothing showing. So I presume it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool, because he didn't do anything wrong about damaging one of his own teammates or anything. The second highest damage in the game was the guy who killed him with 4,237 hit points. He managed to get a tank sniper. And the third highest damage in the game was actually T95 on the enemy team with 3,597. When it came to kills, he had the highest number of those with 4. 3 kills went to the Jagdtiger and the Kunstpanzer on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, he's got that one as well, so he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,628 went to RSG's Toxis, 901 went to the Jagdtiger, and 821 went to the Char Future 4. He fired 22 rounds of 100mm ammunition, got 21 direct hits on the enemy and 16 penetrations. 4,455 hit points of damage, of which 567 were at more than 300 meters. He received 4 hits from the enemy. All 4 were penetrations, I'm afraid. There's no armor on this tank really whatsoever, really, so to speak. So any shell that hits it is more than likely going to go straight through. He spotted 1 enemy vehicle, damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 4, and earned 123,863 credits from the game. After repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, took away a profit of 65,653 credits. 2,442 experience points, and 244 for this being a premium vehicle took away 2,686 experience points altogether. He titles this one Amarak. It was a pretty spectacular Amarak on that Emil. Yeah, just went up like a firework. But yes, almost made me want to see that all over again, just to experience it. But yeah, that was pretty spectacular. Let's have a look at the armor for this thing. Well, as you can see from the live model, it's fairly uniform all around. Those bits where it's purple, if you hit at that angle, it's more than likely going to ricochet off. Yeah, it's a ricochet angle. But everything else is fairly uniform in terms of your ability to actually damage this tank. It's only 65mm lower plate, but it's actually coming out at 83. Upper plate, 65mm coming out at 106. The gun shield, 50mm coming out at 75. If we go to the collision model, so you can see where it all is, it looks fairly beefy from the front, but actually don't let that fool you, because this is actually fairly weak when it's coming up against 122mm shells. They will just carve their way through. Sides of the vehicle, 40mm, fairly flat, so the shells will get through. Sides of the gun shield, 40mm. The rear is 40mm, the engine deck is 20mm, so if you can land an artillery shell on top of this tank, you'll either get it inside, so you'll take out the ammo rack, or you'll get the engine deck and you'll go straight through that. So this thing is vulnerable to shells. I wish I could share the module. Unfortunately, Wargaming haven't handed out the module map, so we don't know where anything is in this. We can't even tell where the driver is in this tank because there's no driver viewports available to show us or give us a clue as to where everything is. The only thing we probably do know is that it's a rear engine, not that it's rear-wheel drive. We don't know that either, if it is or it isn't. All we can tell is that it is an open-top vehicle, so therefore if you can land a shell inside here, you've got a fairly good chance of hitting the ammo racks. From the pictures we actually see, we're pretty sure that there are ammo racks in the bustle of the turret here, and there are further ammo racks down inside the hull, because we can actually see them when we're looking at the model, so we know that there are places that we can hit to do damage, but we just don't know the location of the crews specifically, so that we can then fire at them and take them out with an accurately aimed shot. So I'm sorry, yeah, no information on the modules on this one. So an absolutely fantastic game by RNG's Toxis. Just goes to show that this new tank destroyer, even with no armor, can be very, very effective against enemy vehicles. You just got to make sure you don't get hit, because if you do, you're going to take some damage and it's going to hurt. I thought for a second when he was going to chase that Striv down, I think he actually did think that the guy had actually gone off to the west, and he was actually trying to go down the channel. The Striv had actually fooled him completely by going over into the bushes the other side, hoping that people would actually follow that position and he would then be able to snipe at everyone. But of course he made the mistake of firing on RNG's Toxis when he had low hit points, when he should have actually fired on somebody else, because RNG's Toxis might have actually had difficulty penetrating the Striv from the angle that he was at, whereas the other tanks, well, he would have been fairly easy for that Striv to hit them and collect much more hit points. But it was a very good game, and RNG's Toxis was extremely aggressive against these enemy tanks, and I think they were probably thinking, how the hell is he doing that? Very well played indeed. If you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.